Hey viewers, this is the Casual Pro Gamer bringing you another League of Legends calculation. Today we're discussing a spell vamp strategy on Amumu, and instead of just doing some gameplay and seeing where we go from there, we're going to calculate whether or not this is a valid strategy. As a reference, we're going to use the last game, the one where Hotshot is playing Amumu. And here we see a score sheet of the game, and we'll discuss that in detail later. But we are going to use the champions in this list, so the champions on the enemy team and their items in our calculations. A little side note, the spell vamp build costs over 10,000 gold to complete, 10,025 to be precise, and the champions in the last game spent, well, way less than that. Had they spent 10,000 gold, their magic resistance might be higher and the spell vamp build might therefore be less efficient, especially if most of the damage on Amumu's team is magic, like in this case. Because if the whole team is magic, people are going to buy magic resists to actually survive. But we're going to disregard this, and we're just going to use the builds and the items these people have at this point in time. Before anything else, let's take a look at Amumu's abilities. First, his passive, Cursed Touch. This basically gives him magic penetration once he has hit an opponent with a basic attack. To show that it's indeed his basic attack that triggers this passive, I made a little video. So here I am, I'm at the raids and I'm actually going to hit one of them, but not the big one. I selected the big one, and then you can see that all the other abilities don't actually trigger Cursed Touch. Cursed Touch is actually only applied once I physically hit him with a basic attack. Here we're going to do the same thing on the lizard this time, so I'm not going to attack him, I'm going to ult on him first, and then after I attack him, he gets the debuff. Since we're doing these calculations for a level 18 Amumu, we'll set his magic resistance reduction at 35. Onto his actual skills then. His first actual skill is Bandage Toss, your way to get into the fight. We will assume that this is the first spell cast, so Cursed Touch doesn't apply to the target yet. His second skill, Despair. The damage from Despair depends on the health of the opponent, so we're going to have to calculate those. His third skill is Tantrum. Tantrum's cooldown is reduced when he takes damage. So instead of the 6-second cooldown, we're going to assume 3 to 4-second cooldown. Also, Tantrum reduces physical attacks by a flat 10 damage when Amumu is level 18. So that's also something we're going to use in the calculation. His ultimate then, Curse of the Sad Mummy. Since the stun is irrelevant for this calculation, as we will see later, this is considered as just AoE magic damage. Now, to calculate Amumu's damage, we need to know three things: his ability power, or AP, the enemy health points, or HP for Despair, and the enemy magic resistance, or MR. Now, to calculate Amumu's damage, we need to know three things: his ability power, or AP, the enemy health points, or HP for Despair, and the enemy magic resistance, or MR. We won't be considering runes in this calculation, as there are too many possibilities and the overall ID doesn't change. If you want to know how different runes affect the outcome, you can just follow my calculation and just include the rune effects to see what happens. The spell vamp build is as follows. Heart of Gold, 975 gold, gives you 200 HP and 27 armor. Mercury Threads, 1200 gold, gives you 25 MR. Will of the Ancients for the spell vamp. 2100 gold gives you 80 AP and 20% spell vamp. Rod of Ages, 3035 gold gives you 80 AP and 630 HP. Banshee's Veil then finally, 2715 gold gives you 50 MR and 375 HP. This build was proposed by Klinks22 here on YouTube on one of the videos of In General Wise's account, and he was positive it would be better than the more standard builds where you build armor, HP and magic resist. The build gives you 1205 HP, 160 AP, 27 armor and 75 MR for the price of 10,025 gold. Our reference build for a normal build is as follows. Heart of Gold, 975 gold, gives you 200 HP and 27 armor. Mercury Threads, 1200 gold, gives you 25 MR. Sunfire Cape, 2610 gold, gives you 450 HP and 45 armor. Age of the Legion, 1925 gold, gives you 270 HP, 30 armor and 33 magic resist. Banshee's Veil, finally, 2715 gold, gives you 50 MR and 375 HP. This reference build gives you 1295 HP, 102 armor and 144 magic resist for the price of 9,425 gold. So it's 600 gold cheaper than the spell vamp build. As I said previously, we will be taking the last game, Game Analysis episode 11, as a reference. In this game, the enemy team consisted of Teemo, Lee Sin, Nidalee, Shaco and Rammus. Using the score sheet, we will calculate the HP and MR of each of them. We will start with the HP. Teemo gets 100 HP from Doran's Blade. Lee Sin gets 300 HP from 3 Doran's Blades. Nidalee gets 100 HP from Doran's Ring. Shaco has no HP increasing items. Rammus gets 450 HP from Sunfire Cape and 160 from Ruby Crystal, which gives him a total of 610 HP from items. Each of the champions also has natural HP, which is independent of items, and you just get from leveling up. For Teemo this is 1769, for Lee Sin it's 1958, for Nidalee it's 1990, for Shaco it's 1861, for Rammus it's 1968. So that makes for totals Teemo 1869, Lee Sin 2258, Nidalee 2090, Shaco 1861 and Rammus 2578. Based on this, we can calculate the damage from Despair based on health with 160 AP before applying magic resist. This is for Teemo, 3.7% of 1869 is 69, for Lee Sin 84, for Nidalee 77, for Shaco 69 and for Rammus 95. These are all damage per second, so we might have to multiply them with the amount of seconds that you're actually in range. Then similar for MR. Teemo gets 30 MR from Wit's End, Lee Sin gets 30 MR from Hex Drinker, Nidalee gets 25 MR from Mercury's Threads,